All right, here we are back for our second match of the evening for Minor League Esports presented by APM Music. My name is Chaser. Joining me is an odd fellow for this matchup. We have some Foundation League doubles, Hurricanes versus Knights.
And this should be a very, very interesting matchup, Chaser, because when you go and look on paper, it is a story of polar opposites. The Hurricanes are 13-2, the Knights are 2-13. So it's going to be, I see this turning into potentially, a David versus Goliath kind of storyline. I'd love to see the Knights kind of come out and, just take everybody by surprise, but there's a certain story being told on paper here, and I'm worried that that's going to be the way it's going to go.
Well, I mean, technically the way it went on paper from our last series was the way it ended up going. It was a big win for the Eclipse in the last one in the Academy League doubles. So I'm inclined to agree with you on this one. I think it's going to be a big victory for the Hurricanes. But, hey, the Knights could surprise us. The Knights could come out swinging and knock the Hurricanes around and, do what a lot of teams do. Catch them off guard. And if they do so, who knows what could happen in this series.
Yeah, exactly. And it's one of those things where it's like there's the story on paper is never necessarily how it actually. There are a lot of players in this league that don't even care what the stats or anything are looking like going into a series. All that matters is this right now, today, as we're playing it. So that's all that really matters. So it's going to be really interesting to see if the Knights do kind of overcome what's on paper or if the Hurricanes come out on top like it's looking like they're supposed to. But we're getting right underway here, Chaser.
Yep, 5 games, 5 minutes. Here we go. Game 1. The first shot on the board here from the Hurricanes. And it is going to be a good one for them. Here goes the Knights, though. Villain's going to send it downfield. It's going to be giving away possession, though. Sinful Envy is going to take a shot at net. It's going to be a soft one. To the backboard it goes. Up goes Preston Dew. It's going to be a shot towards the net again. It's going to be no good that time as the clearance comes out from the Knights.
One thing that I do like about this particular matchup is that, so in Foundation League, there's such a wide range of salaries. Sometimes you never know if you're going to end up with a high sal player versus a low sal player. And in this matchup, we actually have a 10 sal and an 8 sal playing on both teams. So it ends up actually being a fairly even match with, I apologize. Albino is a 7-5 and Villain is an 8. So it's a 10 and an 8 versus an 8 and a 7-5, which makes things even more interesting for this matchup. But we're a minute into the game. No goals scored just yet, and the defense for the Knights is holding pretty steady so far.
Yeah, no cracks in the armor so far. Preston Dew off the ceiling, trying to find something for the Hurricanes, but the Knights once again stand tall defensively. It goes back to the midfield line, picked up by Sinful Envy, almost getting the challenge to go in favor for the Knights that time as Preston Dew takes possession. They have it in their corner. The offensive corner is going to be clear, actually, coming out from Villain. That's going to be an opportunity for the Knights to strike on offense. Here it goes. Shot on target. Shot going to be in, and the Knights punch out first.
And that is exactly what we were talking about when we said that what's on paper doesn't necessarily matter, as here we see the Knights being the first ones to put the points on board, getting momentum early here in this game. And this is exactly what they need to do. They need to start the ball rolling. They need to get their foot on the gas early and not let up. Now, if they can keep up this defense that they've been having all game and still continue to get those little offensive pushes and make them count, then I think that we're in for a very interesting series here, Chaser.
Yeah, we could have some counterattack play coming in. That does seem to work out very well in the Foundation League. This is going to be a big clearance down the other way. The bounce is going to be very high and back to the midfield line, though, as it does get picked up by Sinful Envy. The pinch comes out. The pinch is on target. That's going to be a second for the Knights.
Oh, my goodness. Second for the Knights and second for Villain. Villain doing everything right now. Beautiful pinch off of Sinful Envy. Everyone talks about the Fennec being such a fantastic 50-50 car. That just goes to show you the other end of it. Like, yes, it's good at 50s, but sometimes that 50 ends up in the back of your own net. So a lucky shot for the Knights there, coupled with one very good counteroffensive push earlier in the game. We're looking at 2-0 in favor of the Knights right now.
Good start for the underdog in this series as Villain goes up and it's actually going to beat Preston on that challenge attempt. This is going to be a pass into the middle. Shot coming in, and just like that, it's a 3-0 lead.
Oh, my goodness. And that's going to be Albino finally getting in and putting some points on the board there. They just kind of got the Hurricanes defense bunched up on the right side and on the goal line, just in really bad position. And they were just able to take advantage of that. So fantastic offensive push there by the Knights. And all of a sudden, this game one does not look like it's going so hot for the Hurricanes.
Well, they're gonna have to find something, get their foot on the gas. Maybe the jitters getting to them here and the pressure of the stream match. Preston gonna make a miss there, but it's gonna be picked up by Sinful Envy immediately. Challenged though by Villain. Villain takes a crack at net. It's gonna be a lot of pace on the ball, but stopped out by Preston as it does get slowed down at the midfield line. Villain comes in, takes a shot towards net. It's going to be saved there by Sinful Envy up on the upper 90 of that net. A good job by the Hurricanes defense to try to slow down the offense that's been generated so far by the Knights.
Another interesting thing to note, Chaser, as we're looking at the stat sheet here, this is actually first doubles game of the season for Albino on the Knights and for Sinful on the Hurricanes. So we've got two players who haven't played two yet this season, or at least in a match. And I'm wondering if that might have a little bit of, something to do with how this game shakes out. Like maybe Albino is more used to playing twos than Sinful is just overall. So even though there's a salary difference, he may be better at this game mode. And right now, it's looking like the Knights are the ones that came out swinging here in this game one as Preston tries to get past Albino, gets the dunk, and Villain. An unfortunate own goal there to help it in. And that's going to be the first points on the board for the Hurricanes.
And that's exactly the momentum that was needed for the Canes. And it's going to be, like you said, just a little bit of mistouch there from Villain. I think they were trying to clear that across to the corner and directed it towards the net instead. So first one on the board for the Canes. And they look to strike once again. Albino is up to try to make that save. It's going to be off the post. Shot going to be coming in. No, it's going to go to the corner instead. Sinful Envy going to turn on this one. They have possession. Albino plays it slow, trying to make them make the mistake. Nothing doing that time as the ball goes straight to Villain. And it is cleared away here, but still in a good spot for the Hurricanes as a shot comes in off the post and the woodwork ringing out in favor for the Knights so far.
And I will say that was very good patience from Villain on the goal line to be able to see where that was going, let it hit the woodwork, and then kind of just allow that to help with the clear as Albino goes up to try and get it off the backboard. Not able to do so, and Preston spots it underneath the top bar. 51 seconds left to go, Chaser, and all of a sudden, this 3-goal lead's been cut down to 1.
Here comes the pendulum of the momentum in favor of the Hurricanes. They're charging back late in this game. Now it's going to come down to the Knights keeping that strong defense that we've seen through the first half of the game. If they can get it back into form here, that would be ideal for them. This is going to be an opportunity for Villain. They don't get the 50, but they do push the ball wide. Albino pushes it into the middle. It's going to be a clear coming out from Sinful Envy. A little bit too close from Villain. It's going to find its way in. And just like that, the Hurricanes, 3 unanswered to tie it up.
Yeah, and just kind of like what you were saying, it ends up being a little bit awkward positioning there for Villain. Just kind of got themselves a little stuck between rock and a hard place there. Not quite sure what to do. Ended up not being able to make that save. But fantastic perseverance here from the Hurricanes to keep playing right up until the end of the game, fighting back from that 3-goal deficit. And now we find ourselves with 25 seconds left to play here in game one. All square up. We'll have the Knights on the attack. Villain. Or boost to his name, trying to pass it out to Albino. Albino with a little bit of a soft touch here towards the corner. Does get the demo onto Sinful. Not quite able to follow up with anything. Preston played it towards the left wing corner. 8 seconds ticking down now. Last ditch push here for the Hurricanes. Villain trying to get it gone. Ends up getting a bump onto Envy. Ends up being good for them in the long run as Chase. So that's going to take us to overtime.
Game 1 overtime here. The momentum in favor of the Hurricanes. Will the Knights be able to find the footing needed? Albino's going to have a crack to the back bar. It goes. Here comes Villain. Ooh. Great save. That's going to go the other way, but it's not going to be in. It's going to be just wide. Bumps coming in from Sinful Envy as the ball goes in front of the net from Preston. Does get cleared out. Albino could chase this one down and win this one. That could be a crack towards net. It's going to be a shot. It's going to be saved by Preston. And through the first 25 seconds, both teams having quality chances in the early stages.
Quality offense and quality defense coming in from both teams. Sinful taking this one to the air, looking for a touch, fakes it with Albino, and Villain comes in and barely takes that one off the goal line. This defense from the Knights has really been standing strong all game as they have turned away 6 of the total shots that have been put on board by the Hurricanes so far. Sinful tries to put another one on, and that's another save coming out from Villain. That is Villain's second save of the game. Albino having already achieved his savior medal with 4 saves earlier in this game. Albino trying to get a little bit of a redirect, turned away quickly by Envy. We're going to see Villain left the corner. That's going to go in. Maybe, yes, that does finally go in. And 1 minute, 8 seconds into the overtime, we finally have a victor here in game 1 in the Knights.
Oddfellow, I thought that was going to go posting out, and I was going to be like, oh no, that's so heartbreaking. But it does find the mark. 1 minute and 8 seconds in to the overtime frame. The Knights, the underdogs, strike first in the series. Very well done from them. And it comes off the back of some very good defensive play.
Oh, yeah, their defense was 100% the be-all, end-all in this game. They're the definition. Defense wins championships right now because most of their pushes came off of counterattack, right? Which tells me that the Hurricanes are playing potentially just a little bit aggressive up front. It could be something that, maybe they looked at the stat sheet and were like, oh, we're going to absolutely water. And now all of a sudden, they're not. So it's kind of one of those first game, get the cobwebs out kind of thing. Not surprise me. Hurricanes got switched big way here in game 2, but it's a 5-game series. Playing all 5 games, there's a lot more Rocket League left to play. It's got to figure something out to break through that Knights defense.
Yeah, probably going to come down to some physical play. We saw it in the last series as well. The physicality could be the difference maker going forward for the Hurricanes. It's a storm of, just severe physicality in reality. But in this team, are they going to be able to bring that physicality to the Rocket League pitch? We're going to find out as we're going to game number 2 at Neo Tokyo for these two squads.
I think the biggest thing that I want to see the Hurricanes on here, the spacing on their offensive rotations. It did seem like they were a little bit too spread out when they were having their offensive rotations, which was resulting in a lot of missed follow-ups and a lot of the big opportunities to get gaps in that which it twos, so there's going to be a lot. But there are ways that if you be a little bit tighter, even though there's only 2 players defending on the pitch, still have every area of it covered. So I'd like to see them a bit tighter on the offensive rotations here in game 2. Knights got to keep doing what they're doing. That defense is looking.
And so far, the Knights are trying to press the offensive early on after the initial kickoff. And that's going to be a great way to do it as they get the opening marker here once again in game 2.
This is just a fantastic play here from Albino. Great pass off the corner from Villain. Albino, really good speed to go up here early. Just kind of caught Preston off guard. Dunked it right over the top. So 1-0 lead just 16 seconds into the game. And this is exactly what the Knights need to do. They have to, it's like I was saying, they have to keep that pedal to the metal as long as they possibly can, because this is a game, a series that can get away from them. What a save coming out of Envy, stealing that one away from the goal line.
I just got to highlight this. Villain pre-jumps the clear attempt from the Hurricanes, keeps the pressure on for the Knights, and then the shot comes in from Albino, but the great save from Sinful, like you were highlighting, to follow that up. A very good job to keep this a 1-goal game still. This is going to be an opportunity for the Hurricanes. A good job chasing that ball down from Albino. Villain playing it back to their own corner. They have it on the left side of the pitch as Villain's going to pop it up over the top of Sinful Envy. They're going to possibly get another good challenge out of it as well, but it does give possession to the Hurricanes. This is a shot attempt. It could be on, and it is going to be as Preston Dew gets it back into a tie game.
This is a beautiful solo play here from Preston. Nice little mid pass from Envy. Preston able to follow it up. Nice speed to get over the top of Albino as well. And that's the speed that the Hurricanes need to have. They have to be faster to all of their touches, because that looks like the biggest thing. It's almost like they're waiting for the Knights to kind of come to them, and they're playing reactive Rocket League. If they want to do what they've shown they can do on paper this season, they have got to play proactive Rocket League, and they have to start taking the offense to the Knights early and often. And that's really paid out for them there on that last offensive push. Preston backing off there. Sinful getting a nice 50 to keep it in the side of the Knights. A huge pinch from Villain sends that back over the Hurricane side of the pitch.
And into a good spot. Villain wasn't able to follow that one up that time. Shot comes in. That's going to find its mark, slotted into the bottom right as Albino gives the lead back to the Knights.
Another great corner pass from Villain. Albino waiting right in the middle. So the offensive rotations from the Knights are extremely good right now. They're obviously hitting very well. Hey, I'm going to be setting this off the corner. So they're right where they need to be able to receive that. Now, I have noticed they do like using corners for passing plays, which the foundation's lower level. That's kind of common down at this point with players' skill levels. But it'll be interesting to see if the Knights are able to keep in on that and start maybe kind of taking those corner passing lanes away, kind of start maybe a little bit longer just to kind of keep those plays from being able to develop and kind of force the Knights to maybe come up with something a little more creative, we'll say.
That ball is going to be in the front. Good patience from Villain once again. With mistouch there from them, but Albino will chase it into the corner and try to make a play. Does get it past Sinful Envy. Gets it past Preston as well. Down the field it goes. And it looks like Albino will be the first of this ball. Trying to center that one. Almost gets it onto the post and in. But again, good pressure from the Knights. Villain's going to be able to turn on this. Bangs off the back wall. Albino hits it off the back wall as well. Good read from Sinful Envy. Will play it back out a little ways. But again, good turns coming out from the Knights. This could be a chance again now on the counterattack. This time from the Hurricane. Shot coming. Great save from Villain.
Oh my goodness, what a save, but it's all for naught. Oh, that was a great save from Villain, but great job from Sinful Envy to continue putting the pressure on and just being able to put that one right back into the net. So Hurricanes end up coming away with one there, even though there was a fabulous save from Villain on the goal line.
Very well done there, but yeah, I mean, sometimes you play that bend don't break defense and it pays off, and then other times you get bit a little bit on that, just like that one there. This is going to be a good opportunity again for the Hurricanes, but Villain a good job keeping it away from the empty net. Albino plays it up. It's going to be a bit awkward here for the Knights. It's going to be a shot attempt. Good save from Albino to follow that one up. They're going to have to try to play this again. Maybe lower boost totals as well for the player in red. But it does get out to the midfield line and gives a little bit of that pressure away from their defensive half.
What I like about how that offensive push started was, as you saw, I believe that was Albino pushing that towards the right wall. You saw he kind of looked for where Villain was looking to see if he was mid, but wasn't able to take the shot because he was getting pressured so early, but they're looking for it, right? Like, you can see that the Knights are looking to kind of put these passing plays together. So it'll be interesting to see what happens if they start actually getting to develop those more. But right now, the defense from the Hurricanes is holding strong as the Knights are trying to get a little bit more pressure going here, trying to get a little bit of a cushion with the last 60 seconds now starting to tick away. Preston, a nice 50 underneath Villain. Gonna be Albino in the corner. Looking for a play here. Villain getting a demo onto Preston, so it's just going to be Sinful versus both the Knights players here. Going up, looked for a bump on Villain. Ends up forcing him away from the play. That ball's going to come off the backboard. Sinful is back, but Villain able to put the shot on. That's going to be a little bit of a mistouch from Envy, but he is finally able to put that away off the demo from Preston.
And that does slow the attack down from the Knights that time. Good challenge from Villain. Puts it into a good spot for the Knights here. Low boost, though, for the Knight player, as it is going to be given away to Sinful Envy. Here comes a shot attempt. It's going to be a pop. It's going to be a great shot. The Hurricanes, with 24 seconds remaining, jump to the lead.
And this is a beautifully timed shot here by Envy, taking the initial pop-up and then just getting the last little touch over the top of Albino. Beautifully timed to beat the challenge there. 24 seconds left, and it's going to be a 1-goal lead here for the Hurricanes. Again, this is only game 2. So the Knights have a chance to potentially come back here in the last 20 seconds and make it a 2-0 series lead, or the Hurricanes, as of right now, looking positioned to potentially tie this series up. We're going to see Preston now in the corner, trying to clear this one out. Villain tried to get a challenge on it, but it did go over the top. Trying to get another challenge here. Envy with another pop over. It's going to find backboard. Preston is there, but it's turned away by Villain. Albino with the touch. Is he going to keep it up? No, that is going to be the Hurricanes going ahead and taking game 2 here, Chaser.
And a very good job of getting back into the swing of things for the Hurricanes. You know, they were down for a good portion of the game. Again, the Knights came out swinging early once again. This time, Albino with the 2 goals. You know, we saw a lot of offense coming out from Villain last game. But this one, Albino said, I'm going to take the reins on the offense. You play a lot of that solid defense. And it worked out for the first part of the game, but then the Hurricanes adjusted and they were able to find the back of the net enough in this one to tie the series up.
What I will say is interesting is that in both these games, the Hurricanes have consistently had the higher shot total. They had 10 in game 1, 9 in this game. The Knights had 6 in game 1, only 4 in this game. And all 4 of those came from Albino. Other than the 2 assists, which were huge from Villain, Villain was almost a non-factor on offense. And I'm wondering if the Hurricanes kind of keyed in on that and started using the fact that he was playing a little bit far back to kind of make a little bit more pressure with their offensive pushes, right? They started playing a little bit more faster, started getting to the ball quicker, and that's what they have to do. That's one of the biggest issues I notice with teams in Foundation in general is just overall speed on challenges. It's the teams that figure out how to challenge the ball faster and when and where that end up resulting in the best results for those teams.
Yeah, pace of play really, really big in Foundation League. If you can consistently have the pace to beat your opponents to the ball, you're 9 times out of 10 going to win that matchup. So we'll see if they can continue to do so here. Game 3 at the beautiful Forbidden Temple. This ball down in front. Villain is going to make the save. It's going to be a clearance attempt, and it is going to get out. Here comes Albino trying to have that directed towards net. Villain, just barely missing that one. And the Hurricanes are going to have a chance the other way. Is Sinful Envy, are they going to get this one directed towards net? Good job from Albino to keep it out. Still dangerous, though, as it's in front of the open net. Here's another shot attempt, crossbar this time as well. The Hurricanes, they got to be kicking themselves. That was a golden opportunity.
And that was something I was going to point out as well when I was looking at the shot totals. The Hurricanes have these high shot totals. Great save there from Preston on the goal line. But they have these high shot totals, but they've only gotten 2 or 3 goals a game in the last 2 games, even though they're putting on almost 10 shots every game. So even though they're putting a lot of shots on target, not many of them are actually finding the back of the net. That has a lot to do with the defense from the Knights, but also their overall shot accuracy has just seemed a little bit suspect to me throughout the series. And that little offensive push they had right there just kind of holds that down for me. So that shot accuracy is something they have to kind of notice that they have to improve as the series starts going on. As we see Albino coming in from midfield, try to get a touch there. Envy with a little soft touch out. Villain going for the 50, does lose it to Envy, but Albino is going to be back, collecting this one up in the left wing corner. Hurricanes trying to get a push on. Envy going up for the touch, but Villain comes in out of nowhere off the ceiling. What a defensive stand there from the Knights.
And again, the defense is bending, but it's not breaking yet. This could be a chance, but just barely off target was Preston that time. Sinful is going to play this one. Never mind. Albino is actually going to win that challenge. The pace of play in favor of the Knights that time, as it does get cleared away by the Hurricanes this time. Up goes Sinful, playing it to the backboard. No shot will be had this time, unless Sinful can get it. Not going to be found, though. 3 minutes left on the clock. We still remain scoreless after 2 minutes of play so far, and neither team really looks like they have anything threatening right now.
Not really, but as we were talking about pace of play, I have noticed that the Knights have been the ones that have been playing just a little bit faster. That initial defensive pushback off that initial push right at the beginning of the game, and then throughout the course of these defensive rotations that they have, part of the reason that their defense is so solid is because of those rotations. Fabulous 50 by Albino sets it up perfectly for Albino to put the first goal of the game for Game 3.
Yeah, great recognition knowing where both of the Hurricane players were, realizing Sinful was last back, able to win that clean, and Villain just has a nice, easy runner into the empty net just as we approach the halfway point of this Game 3. And that's going to be a clean win for Albino as they send it into the offensive corner. But it's going to be a possession play for the Hurricanes. Good read from Villain. Are they going to be able to follow this one up? It doesn't look like they're going to. It's going to concede that one for their teammate Albino. That 50 going to go to the backboard. Will Sinful be able to read this one as well? It's going to be a good job challenging from Albino. The great tackle plays it to the corner. Nothing doing there for the Hurricanes.
Villain trying to get some control here out of the corner, has a little bit of space. Great 50 there from Villain to be able to see where Preston was going to be trying to send that. However, Albino not quite able to be up. Great 50 from Envy over the top of Albino and gets the demo onto Villain. This could be a very dangerous push here from the Hurricanes. Preston going up, looking for it off the corner, not able to sneak it in, not able to get the touch either, but that is both defenders from the Knights flying towards the right side of the net. The Hurricanes, again, just being plagued by this lack of shot accuracy that probably could have resulted in a goal for them there quickly. Albino, again, turning another one away. So there is the defense from the Knights. Once again, Chasers standing tall. 30 seconds left, 1-0 Knights.
And they have the lead here. Like you said, 5 shots, though, for the Hurricanes. Again, the shooting in favor of the Hurricanes. Oh, and that was an opportunity for the Knights to get it. Villain just off the mark that time. And, you know, it could have been a golden opportunity for them that time, but this is still going to be a lead for them. They have the possession. Albino sends it downfield. cut off there by Preston. It's going to be a pop out into the middle for them again. Villain with a win on that challenge, though, as they were up early. As we've seen time and time again from them, they have been able to challenge the ball through the air when, you know, not many people would expect it in this type of you know, skill level, and they've done very well doing so far.
Yeah, and it's that speed on the challenges that I think is really giving the Knights the advantage here, as that was a great flick from Preston to keep Villain from being able to get pressure on that. But it's Villain's constant pressure as Albino, oh no, Albino misses the open net. He's going to be seeing that one in his nightmares tonight, as we have 25 seconds left on the clock. Villain getting the demo onto Sinful. Now it's going to be Preston trying to get up underneath. Villain trying to turn this away. Sinful missing his touch through the air. Villain looking to collect this one. Keeps it on the ground, was looking for another 50 again, ends up getting faked out by Envy. 7 seconds left. It looks like the Knights are just going to be trying to play keep away here as the Hurricanes have one last chance. That is a chance to go in. Oh my goodness, it gets saved away at the last second, and the Knights end up taking it.
I'm speechless. That was, I was just absolutely certain that was going to find the back of the net. And then at the last possible second, turned away and down to the ground. And the Knights, I don't want to say they stole this game, because they didn't. They had a good defensive play this game, number 3. We could have been looking at overtime, though, again. So I'm gonna say it. They steal this game, number 3, with that great save off the goal line as time expires. Wow.
You took the words right out of my mouth, kind of like how Villain took the ball right out of the net there. That 100% should have been an overtime, but fantastic heads-up play from Villain, and that is what I love about players in Foundation League. Like, the clock just almost doesn't even matter to them. It doesn't matter if it's on 5 minutes or 0 seconds like that one just was. They will always keep playing, and that's what allowed that tenacity is what allowed Villain to be able to, you know, keep and stay heads up with that, to be able to make that save there at the last second. So the Knights now, all of the momentum in their favor. Not only have they taken 2 games off of the Hurricanes as a massive underdog, but that last save is mentally devastating for the Hurricanes.
I mean, the Knights have just doubled their total win total so far. Their
Yes.
season win total with that victory there. So well done for them. And to do it against a team of this caliber is massive, massive, I tell you. But we're going to go to game number 4. The Knights have a chance to win this series, and the Hurricanes looking to bounce back from that, but the wind completely removed from the sails of the Hurricanes.
Oh,
and both of the Hurricane players are removed from the field. But man, oh man, will we see the Hurricanes come back here in game 4?
I think this all has to do with whatever car that is that Villain's been using all series. I can't even recognize it, but it's definitely a little unorthodox. But speaking of unorthodox, we are finally going to see the Hurricanes putting a first goal on the board 24 seconds into the game, and that is going to be 1-0 Hurricanes off a beautiful pass from Preston down to Sinful.
Yeah, it's a good 2-on-1 opportunity for the Canes, and good placement on the pass, great placement on the shot. And, you know, you got the defender to bite on the first shot attempt, which was the pass. So that's 9 times out of 10 going to help you. So now Villain trying to get one back. But Preston does make the save, and that's got a lot of pace on the ball. It's going to bounce out in front as well. Albino's awkward. That's going to be a goal back again for the Hurricanes, a 2-0 lead.
And I knew this was going to be a goal for the Hurricanes as soon as I see Albino facing towards the net, still on the ground, and then hear Envy go up in the air behind him, because it's one of those awkward positions where it doesn't matter how good you are, what rank you are never going to be that fast that you will beat the guy that's coming over the top of your shoulder. So fantastic reaction time there from Envy to go up and keep pushing that. Unfortunately, Albino just getting caught a little bit unprepared for the push, as Villain gets a nice 50 there with Envy. Albino taking this one to the wall. Going to come off just a little bit, so he's going to opt to just follow it through the air, catch it on the roof, look for the flick, but not able to get it. That was a great pressure from Preston. Sinful's going to miss it. Villain with the turnaround, and that is going to be the first goal of the game for the Knights.
I think all 4 players, I think both of us expected the clear to come out there, and then all of a sudden, Villain just says, oh, that's an empty net. I'm going to go ahead and take that. Very good turn and quick reaction to get it into the net. Cutting that deficit to 1 as well is massive for the Knights. It gets that momentum sort of back in their favor here, as the Hurricanes tried to get it in their favor early on. Now here comes Preston playing it to the back wall once again. It's going to bounce out above their head, so they're going to play to the middle of the field as Sinful has possession. Trying to get that flick. Albino takes over possession. Good intercept there. It's a one-on-one opportunity. Albino trying to play it out to the outstretch. Save, though, there by Preston. Just barely to make contact there, as it does remain 2-1.
Villain had a good follow-on shot as well, but unfortunately it found the crossbar. Left Albino time to go out and grab mid-boost so they could try and keep offense going, but Envy is able to get a really nice clear there out over the midfield line. Speaking of midfield, there's Preston waiting at the 50-yard line, trying to play this one back in. That's going to go into the corner. Sinful is there, and he is going to score that one again over the top of Albino. That's going to be 3-1 in favor of the Hurricanes.
It just comes down to good patience from Preston, waiting to make Villain bite on the attempt and try to get that 50. And at that point, it's 1-0 in the empty net situation. And Preston, good job getting it into the middle for Sinful. But now 3-1 the advantage. A lot of time still on the clock. It doesn't feel like it's only been 2 minutes played so far here in this game, but it has 4 goals to be scored so far. This Villain has possession, trying to get that 50. It's going to play it to the side. Villain has it again, pops it to the left wing corner. Good challenge once again from Villain. It's going to be a ball again, another 50. Just time and time again, Villain getting challenge after challenge and winning them out. But this one does get cleared back down to the night half. We'll see what they can do with it.
I think Villain's advantage comes from the fact that not only is he using an unorthodox car, he's the only one on the pitch not using a Fennec. And I think that might be giving him a little bit of a physics advantage when it comes to these 50s. But like you were saying, so far he's been doing fabulous with them. 0 boost, end up stealing corner boost there from the Hurricanes. So Albino has a chance now, opting to back off a little bit instead of trying to pace it up the wall. Envy. Nice touch back down into the corner. Albino looking for Villain here with the back pass. Envy challenging immediately. That's what's giving the Hurricanes the advantage so far here in this game 3, is every time that the Knights try and get a second to make something happen, Sinful is right there on top of them, not even giving them a chance to breathe. And that's the kind of pace of play that the Hurricanes have had to have all series, as that one floats in front, but unfortunately Villain's not able to catch up with it.
Yeah, Villain playing a little bit too far back there. This was going to be a good shot attempt. Ooh. Great shot attempt, in fact, as Sinful going to get another goal on the board for the Hurricanes. 4-1 the advantage.
And honestly, this is a fantastic shot from Envy, but then you see Albino getting the very unfortunate backflip there. I kind of feel for that because I've done that more times than I would care to admit in any of my ranked games. But fantastic offensive pressure here from the Hurricanes. It really seems like they've figured things out in terms of getting through that Knights defense, and it's all coming down to that pace of play that we were talking about for the first 2 games. They finally just picked it up to a point where they're able to put a lot more pressure on. Now, I will say the Hurricanes offense is pretty much solely consisting of Sinful, aside from 2 assists from Preston, but Villain getting demoed by Sinful as well. Preston was looking for the double there, but not quite able to get it, and Albino turning away the follow-on shot from Envy.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they needed. Sinful going to play that one back, and they're going to grab boost and turn on this. Good possession play coming out from the Hurricanes with time expiring. Is down to just over 60 seconds remaining. Preston going to play that one across the field. Grabs boost. Now through the air, playing it to the back wall. It's going to be a good attempt, but it's going to be a miss from Villain that time. Nothing doing, though. No shot on target from Sinful. Albino trying to play it past that attacking player of the Hurricanes. This Villain's gonna miss this. This is gonna be another shot from Sinful, and Preston getting the assist there. 5 goals on the board for Sinful.
And I was about to say 5 goals for the Hurricanes, 5 goals for Sinful. Sinful currently having 5 of his 6 shots having gone in, 3 of those being assisted by Preston. So this game 4 is just all Sinful all the time, and they are really wanting to make sure that this goes to a game 5. They do not want to give up the series this early.
Absolutely, they do not. They want to go to game 5 with a shot at the series. This ball going to be in front. Preston barely going to get a touch on it. Villain was able to strike that if possible, but the touch gets it just out of the reach of the Knights player. Here comes Villain once again, keeping the pressure on for the Knights. At this point, just looking for some sort of momentum back in favor for them here going into game 5. But Preston is going to try to slow down the ball. It gets it back to the midfield line, gives it away just a little bit, but it is going to be another shot coming in, saved by Villain again. And man, oh man, the dominating game here coming out from the Hurricanes, 5-1, and they level the series at 2 apiece.
And I said it a bunch during the game. I'm going to say it again now. Name of the game there was pace of play. We were talking about how much the Hurricanes needed to pick it up, needed to start challenging things faster. And that game, they finally decided to catch up and do that. And you see what they're finally capable of. Like, I feel like it took them 3 games to get here, but maybe they're just warmed up now and they're finally ready to show up for the rest of the series. But all of a sudden we find ourselves going to a game 5. Now, I will say there's probably a lot of people that didn't think that this series was going to need a game 5 to be decided, but here we are, Chaser.
Yeah, we both said at the beginning, remember? Anything can happen, and here we are. Anything has happened. We're going to game 5 with everything on the line for this series. The Hurricanes definitely have the momentum in their favor with this victory in game 4. But don't count them out, because guess what? They won game 2, but lost game 3 as well. So, are we going to see that pattern continue? Odd games go to the Knights, even games go to the Hurricanes. Or are we going to finally see the Hurricanes break through after winning a game in this game number 5?
I think the biggest thing to note here is that game 3 ended the way that it did, with that last second goal just being torn away from the Hurricanes. And they came back in the game 4 and said, okay, fine, we're putting that behind us, and just absolutely laid the smackdown on with that 5-1 victory. So I think having that kind of mental fortitude to overcome a heartbreaking loss like that and come right back and just absolutely dominate in the next game. I think that the Knights need to be very, very careful here in this game 5 about how they're playing, because the Hurricanes, they're looking like they're bumping their categories up here pretty quick.
Yeah, they're playing very, very angry right now, and that's going to be a Fields flip from Albino, and the ball finds its way in from Preston. It's going to be a good shot floating into the net.
I feel the pain in this in my heart so often. It's just one of those things that it just happens to you when you're playing Rocket League. It doesn't matter what rank you are. And, you know, unfortunately, Albino's getting plagued by it a little bit here with those Fields flips. But that's something you just kind of have to go, oh, well, okay, that sucked. That happened. Throw it behind you and just leave it be. Is that gonna, okay, I thought that was gonna be a pull shot there from Preston using Villain. That had such a chance to go in, Chaser, but it finds the woodwork instead.
And bangs out in front of the net, but nothing doing there that time either. Albino is going to have possession. They play it to the back wall. Going to be just absolutely torn away from the field that time. Villain going to get bumped away as well. Sinful's going to play it back to midfield, but it's going to be a possession giveaway to Albino, who's going to go up the back wall, trying to play that one down to their teammate. Villain's up, almost reading that one. A great touch from Sinful. Plays it along for Preston, who's going to go off the ceiling, trying to have it. Oh, that's going to be a shot attempt. I thought Preston was going to get it, but Sinful is going to get credit for the goal.
Yeah, Preston looked like he was trying to read this, just wasn't quite able to figure it out, left it for Sinful anyways, and I think that actually throws off the defense a little bit, because it looked for a second like they were going to be worried about what Preston was doing, and then by the time they realized that Sinful was in position to also take a shot, it was just too late and they weren't able to save it. So again, this offense from the Hurricanes, hitting fast, hitting hard, hitting often, and that's exactly what they've needed to do here to start off this game 5, as that's going to be another goal on the board for Sinful. It's going to be a 3-0 lead, and we're barely 60 seconds into this game.
Yeah, and I was going to say, we're starting to see a mirroring of game 4 so far from the Hurricanes. The pace of play definitely squarely in the favor of these two Hurricane players. They have been all over the field, getting good challenges, not allowing the Knights to do anything really. A good job on the boost grab, and then the follow-up demo as well. This is going to be a big boost advantage for the Hurricanes. That's going to be an empty net, and the duo finds its way again. Preston to Sinful.
Preston to Sinful. Sinful finally collecting his hat trick. That was a beautiful play from Preston to get over the top of both defenders. It just looked like Villain might have been a little bit out of position there on the backside, but again, Sinful just constantly being there to be able to bury these into the back of the net, taking advantage of everything that Preston is throwing at him and just constantly keeping that pressure on. This is the speed of rotations that they need to have. That's a beautiful save from Villain. Right now, the Knights have a problem of their own, which is they have scoreless here with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left to play, and that's going to be another goal on the board for the Hurricanes.
I think we just found ourselves a Category 5 Hurricane here, and it is in the name of Sinful Envy. They are just all over the defense of the Knights. 3 goals and an assist now, and Preston doing the work as well. 2 goals and 3 assists. Both players just making up this Category 5 Hurricane, and right now, looking for more. Shot coming in. Great save from Villain. Albino, are they going to be able to make the clear? No, it's going to be kept in the offensive zone for the Hurricanes. Another follow-up shot. Bang, it goes in again. 6-0.
Oh my goodness. With that goal going in, not only does Preston have a hat trick of his own and have a savior medal to his name, he has 100% goal participation in this game. It's just, it's crazy. Last game, it was all Sinful. This game, it's a mixture of both of them, but Preston is the one that is just there for everything. He's getting passes to Sinful. He's getting these goals to go through himself, and the Knights just look lost right now, for lack of a better word. It sounds rude, but there's just no other way that I can put it, as Preston puts the 7th goal of the game on. We're not even halfway through the game yet, Chaser.
Wow. That's a great shot as well. Coming from the same side of the field, able to put that one back to the near post. Well, sort of towards the near post, but off the crossbar and in. A great shot coming out from Preston, continuing that 100% goal participation. Now looking for another, and they are going to get it after some unorthodox shooting off the post.
I'm at a loss for words here, Chaser. Like we're closer to 10 goals than we are to the end of this game. Like it's insane. There's 8 goals on the board for the Hurricanes. The Knights have yet to score one, and we're still not at the halfway point for the game. Like at some point, the Knights have to just get one. You know what I'm saying? Like it feels like there's going to be one where they're just kind of got to get handed it. But it's this pace of play from the Hurricanes that is just absolutely eating the Knights alive here.
And there's another opportunity. Sinful is going to get the goal, and Preston keeping that 100% goal participation alive as they do get an assist. I'm guessing it was right there, maybe? I'm not sure. It didn't really look like they got a piece of that ball, but again, we're close to the halfway point, but 9 goals on the board here for the Hurricanes, looking for a 10th right away, and almost getting the pool shot once again was Preston. But it is going to be into the offensive zone here for the Hurricanes. A bump onto Villain. Villain has possession and some boost. Getting chased down by Preston, but it is going to be to the back wall. And pressure alleviated for a moment. Now it seems like this is a good opportunity for the Knights, but once again, the pace of the Hurricanes is able to slow down and thwart offensive chances coming in from the Knights.
It's like the Knights are trying to take the time to put a shot together, but they're taking too much time. Like the Hurricanes are just getting into them before they have a chance to do much of anything. As what a save from Albino comes out there, but it's not going to be enough. Sinful's able to throw it in, but it's still an assist to Preston and still 100% goal participation. That is going to be double digits on the scoreboard for the Hurricanes.
And not only double digits, but 1,000 points through, we'll say 3 minutes of play in the game for Preston. 5 goals, 5 assists, 8 shots. What can you say? I mean, really, it's just been utter domination so far. The Knights don't even have a shot on target to speak of through the 3.5 minutes of play so far. And the Hurricanes are looking to pile it on even still with 90 seconds remaining. Here's another opportunity. Oh my Lord, I thought we were going to have another one there from Sinful, but just barely misses that one. And at this point, I think we're calling for mercy at this point.
Yeah, it's like I just want everybody in the audience to know, like, we're not intentionally trying to rip on the Knights here. It's just when the game is going the way that it's going, it's hard for us to find something good to look at in this particular Game 5. Albino trying to get a shot on there. That one's going to miss towards the top crossbar. And the Knights honestly just look like they're at a point where they want this game to just be over.
Yeah, just kind of trying to play the clock. That could be on target as well. Oh, no, there goes Preston's 100%.
Well, no.
That's still fine. Sinful does get a great goal over the top of Albino, sending it down and in. But 11-0, and it's just the pace of play. We talked about it going into Game 4 about how the pace of play was going to determine what happened here, and we're still seeing it to this point in Game 5. The pace squarely in favor of the Hurricanes, and really that's what's been biting the Knights in this Game 5.
Yeah, the Hurricanes just finally looked like they said, "Oh, wait, are we about to lose this series? Oh, okay, hang on, we can fix this," and just decided that Game 5 was the game to turn up. Sinful getting a demo onto Villain there, Preston having a chance to make some pressure. So, fun fact, the most one-sided match in MLE history, Chaser, was a 16-1 victory. We're currently on potentially not necessarily paced for that, but this is as close as we're getting to setting the record for the most one-sided victory in MLE history.
And it's kind of close to the record, but yeah, no, that's definitely up there. But they're looking for a 12th here. Are they going to find it? No, they're not. But
why?
Nonetheless, domination in Game 5, 11-0. And Oddfellow, not a single shot coming out for the Knights in that Game 5.
So if I'm the Knights, normally at the end of a series and at the end of a week, I say, okay, let's just kind of, get a replay review and do all that kind of thing. No. If you're the Knights, you take this replay, you put it exactly into the recycle bin, and you forget that it ever happened. This is something that they have got to just push past as they move through the rest of the season. This is just one of those things that at the end of the day, they still took 2 games out of the 5 in the series. They still won more games in this series than they won the entire other 3 weeks of this season. So It was still a fantastic series for the Knights. It just was unfortunately capped off by a bit of a storm from the Hurricanes.
Yeah, absolutely. So very, very good job from the Knights to get those 2 games. Like you were saying, they doubled their win total so far from the beginning portion of the season. So still, I would say a good result for this team, given the circumstances of Game 5. We'll take Game 5 out of it as far as, skill and, stats and all that. But the other 4 games, 100% very, very close, except, it was a close game, but it was a lot of domination late in Game 4 for the Hurricanes. But overall, really good series coming out from the Knights and the Hurricanes here.
Yeah, again, if you're the Knights, you have to look at the small victories here. You won 2 games in the series. Don't worry about that Game 5. Put that behind you. Just get rid of that replay. If I'm them, I'm not even going to watch that Game 5 replay and figure out what we did wrong, because you don't even need to. Just don't even worry about it. So if you're the Knights, just shake that one off, move on to next week. Fantastic job by the Hurricanes, almost setting an MLE record there with wins. But Chaser, I believe that is going to do it for that series, as we are, going to throw it to a break as we get ready for the next one, if I'm correct.
Yeah, but before we go, Guardian Pro Line, everybody. Guardian Pro Line. Let's talk about that real quick. Exclamation point Pro Line in the chat to get the link to it. You can get yourself a wonderful jersey, just like I am wearing right now, the Bulls jersey. And, that was the franchise that I ran for a few seasons. But, get yourselves a jersey. Get yourselves a T-shirt, a hoodie. Doesn't matter what you're looking for. Go represent your franchise. Go represent your favorite franchise. Guardian Pro Line, the best merch in the business by far. Go check them out. But like you said, we're going to go to a break. Stay tuned with MLE. We will be right back.